Hello, and welcome to the Gaily Planet, The Final Frontier, a podcast where two queer nerds talk about Star Trek: The Next Generation. I am Lark Malachi Gray.
And I'm Jesse Blount, and today we're going to talk about episode 3 of season 3, The Survivors. But before we get into that, we have some fun announcements because it's finally Pride! Woo!
Happy Pride! The world's trying to kill us, but we're still fucking queer as hell, and they can't stop us, at least not yet.
Yeah. So we're doing some fun things for Pride because we all desperately need to have a more fun Pride this here 2026. So we have a whole bunch of cool stuff happening. First of all, we are doing summer camp again. Camp as in campy, not summer camp as in being in the woods. Uh, so you can check out our first episode of summer camp, which is about Hairspray, probably the John Waters movie most people have seen.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that comes out on June 30th because our Patreon bonus episodes come out on the full moon, which is fun because Queer IRL witches. But actually, as a reminder, our first one was actually on the May blue moon. So on May 31st, we released an episode with Slayerfest 98 where we talked about the Buffy episode Beer Bad that Jesse and I skipped back when we were making We Are the Gayers because we were like, that's a bad episode. But turns out neither of us had watched it in like 17 years. And we really missed out by skipping that episode. And Ian from Slayerfest 98 was like, you guys, that's a really good episode, actually. And we were like, okay, let's talk about it. And he was right. So listen
Yes.
to that episode.
So if you're a person who's like, wow, Beer Bad's one of the top 5 worst episodes of Buffy, you are wrong. That is, it is an excellent episode. Um, and everyone just, I guess, hates fun and also campiness. So,
Yeah, and that one, despite it being, technically one of our Patreon bonus episodes, we did release to the public. So if you saw that in the feed 2 weeks ago, whenever that was, and we're like, why is this episode about a terrible episode of Buffy here? That's why, and you should A, go watch that episode, and B, go listen to that episode. So just saying.
yes, also this month for Pride, we're releasing our advice episode where for the second year running, we are going to be answering your frivolous questions very seriously.
Yes.
Which is fun for everyone.
Yeah, it was so much fun. Oh my God. Yeah, that comes out on the 18th. That's going to be a blast. Half of the episode will be on the public feed, the other half, the full episode, will be on Patreon, which is a really good lead in to another thing that we're doing for Pride, which is our annual Patreon pledge drive. That's the word that I'm looking for. Where we've got some cool offerings. We're just trying so fucking hard all the time to get to a sustainable amount of money. And as an enticement, so this month we've got some other stuff to offer you.
Yes, I will for new patrons above the how much again level?
21.
For new patrons at the 21 or higher level, the first 7 people, I will be offering a little audio recording affirmations of whatever affirmations you need. Are you recently out of the closet for something? Affirmation. You're like struggling at my job or work. I will record you a personal, funny affirmation for you to listen to whenever you'd like.
Yeah, we did these, I don't know, forever ago. And recently we've just gotten a bunch of feedback from people who received them being like, I still listen to this all the time. It is so helpful. And we were like, oh, well, then we'll just do that again. So, yes, so there's that. And then also we are offering anyone who joins or upgrades to a sticker tier will get 3 bonus stickers in addition to the Pride sticker. So, go do that. Our sticker club is super rad. And then likewise with the stickers, we every year for Pride, we do everything in our shop is 15% off, and that includes the like back catalog of sticker club offerings. So there are always extras. However, how many extras depends on how many Sticker Ninja feels like sending me that month, depending on, I don't know, vibes. So we put those up once a year in our shop, and they're there until they're gone. We never reprint any of those designs. And yeah, they're there. They're 15% off. Use the code QueerAF, all one word, to trigger that. But also all of our stickers, the data autism sticker, all of our like bookmarks and weird everything is 15% off this month. So go hit that up.
Yeah, and also that's a good way to be like, do I want to join your sticker club? Because you get a sort of sense of the kind of stickers that come monthly. They are often fandom agnostic, or at least a very subtle fandom sticker, if that is your vibe.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, check that out and join our sticker club because who doesn't love getting mail? Surprise fun mail every month.
Every month. Sorry, I have to straighten my nose ring. Sorry, everyone, that you had to watch me do that. It's so important to me that it points down like it's supposed to. All right, that's all the things. Anyway, we should start this episode.
All right.
All right, so now I'm going to do my summary. I'm sorry, everyone, now that I'm doing it live, I'm sure they're much longer because when I was just recording them on my own, I would, be like, oh, that's superfluous information. Let me just like back up and start over and like edit them down until they were always under 3 minutes. But now I just kind of got to go do my best. So in this episode, the Enterprise gets a distress call from a colony where there are supposed to be 11,000 colonists and they've like been attacked. They don't know that much. They zip on over there. Nobody home. Planet looks like the Badlands. They're like no life signs, whatever, but they are checking really hard and they find this one tiny patch, like a 1 acre plot that's got two people on it and trees and grass, and they're like, weird, let's go see if they're okay. They go down. There's these two people, Kevin and Rashawn, who are like, yeah, we don't know why we were spared. But here we are, vibing. And everyone's like, weird, but like, let's go. And they're like, no, 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 we're not leaving. We're fine. Go away. Um, but Data picked up a little music box and was like, how neat. And then Troy on the Enterprise heard the music from the music box, and now her brain is being consumed and destroyed by the music from the music box. So they can't really leave because they're like, we have to fix Troy. So we're going to have to figure this out. So they basically keep coming and going from the planet, talking to these people, trying to leave. Then a ship will come. The ship that destroyed the planet will come and kind of go beep, go away. And they're
Pew
like,
pew pew.
yeah, right. It's like, they're like, what is happening? So then they'll like chase it away, and then it disappears, and they're like, okay, but then they go back. Um, Picard is like, a mystery. How exciting. Excuse me, Riker. I will be going down to the planet now. And he does. He goes down to the planet and he's like sleuthing around. He puts on his Dixon Hill hat. He figures the whole thing out, but he doesn't tell anybody because that's his favorite activity. He kidnaps Kevin and Rashawn onto the ship and is like, Rashawn, you're dead. You died in the battle. And so she poofs out of existence. And then he's like, Kevin, you did all of this, but I don't really understand why or how, but like, I know you're responsible. And he's like, you got me. I'm a god. And he's also a staunch pacifist to the point of being fucking useless because he would not save his colony despite being a god. But that does mean that he has like a moral obligation to save Troy. So he goes and saves Troy, and then he's like, yeah, I'm a staunch pacifist and wouldn't save the colony, but when they killed my wife of 53 years, Rashawn, I got so sad that I not only killed all of the species, like people from the species that were killing the colony, but the entire species everywhere in space. I'm a bad man. And Picard's like, yep, but we can't do shit about it because you are a god. Why don't you go back to your planet and recreate your dead wife and vibe for as long as you want? We're going to go. Goodbye. The end.
Would you like to be in a prison of your own making? Okay, great.
Yep. Yep. Picard's like, you wanna stay there forever? Sounds safer for everyone. We're gonna go now. So yeah, that's that.
Fucking episode. All right. This is the captain speaking. Contrary to what you may have heard, there are in fact laws in Starfleet against murdering an entire people.
But do they apply to gods? I don't
Fair.
think they can.
It's like you can't. Well, yeah, but also not great.
Okay, yes. So we're gonna get started with the bridge, where we talk about everything that doesn't go anywhere else.
Okay, so my first point is about Crusher. Okay, so I watched this episode twice. Um, Once when I was very stoned, and then again when I was sober.
Okay.
And my initial thought was like, Crusher's the head doctor. Doesn't she have more shit to do besides sit on the bridge and just hang out? But I realized that, of course, the whole reason this actress came back is just like, give me more money and more shit to do. And here she is, having more shit to do, including, I would like to point out, her calling the whole situation. She's like, it's like some kind of, must be maybe some kind of illusion. And everyone's like, I don't know what's happening. And she was right.
Yeah. Smart
So,
lady.
yeah, it turns out sometimes being a doctor means you are, in fact, smart at other things. Not all
Yeah.
the time. But in this case,
No, she's a
yes.
she's a GP, so she's well rounded. It's not like she's a surgeon. No offense, surgeons. I was about to be like, we don't have any. We might. Smart people listen to us.
I think if you listen to this show, I think if you listen to this show, you're probably aware of the shit people say about surgeons because your coworkers probably suck.
Totally. And also, if you're a surgeon, join our Patreon at the $33 a month or $37 a month tier if you want a sticker, please and thank you, because you can afford it.
So Rashawn is telling, I don't remember which group of the crew she's telling the story about how they met. And she's just like, oh, when I met him when he was just some starving student, he had this like, you know, threadbare suit and these mismatched shoes, and it was so cute. And I'm just like, he was still learning how to be a person when he met you. Like, you met him fresh off of him creating a human body, I think.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, because I'm just like, this is a funny story. And then on rewatch, you're just like, you didn't know how to person yet, I think, is what I suspect.
Yeah. I mean, checks out. I also feel like if you're experimenting with becoming human or like what it's like to be a human, it makes sense to choose an age when humans are experimenting with becoming themselves. Not to get really deep about it, but like the circumstance that he was like in at the time that she met him is a very like young adult individuation kind of experience. And I'm like, if I was a space god, I'd probably be like, that's the age that I should try out, you know?
You can get away with saying and doing so much weird shit, and people just being like, "You're young," or "You do too many drugs," and it's fine because we're all in our 20s, you know.
Yeah, you're finding yourself. Exactly.
I gotta say, this spaceship chase scene is deeply boring. Both times watching this episode, I'm just like, can we just cut this short? This is so uninteresting.
Yeah, it is.
Um, and I'm just like, ugh.
It kind of, I think they were probably showing off their like bigger budget practical effects. You know, they're like, look what we can do now that we have a little bit more money and like better cameras and stuff.
Which is funny because my DVD isn't the remastered DVD, so watching the DVD pre-remastered, I'm just like, oh wow, these that ship looks awful.
Does it?
Yeah, they remastered this very well. It turns out compared to when I watched it this morning, watching it on Paramount Plus, and I'm like, "Yep, that shit looks way better."
Interesting.
it's it's a very interesting juxtaposition to watch it in two different mediums.
Yeah, no kidding. Wow, it is so hot in here. Holy
Oh, it's
shit. Join our Patreon so I can get a silent fan. Thank you. Do you know how expensive those are? They're so expensive, but I need one of those like Dyson bladeless fans so I can have some fucking airflow when I'm recording in this small room in the summer.
we should just put it up as a Patreon goal: is buy you a nice fan.
I could just put it on our throne wish list, actually. Maybe I'll do that. Yeah, one of the places I was recently pet sitting had one because I'd been thinking about it and I was like, I don't know how actually quiet those are, but I was like, holy shit, I can't hear this. And I'm a like, can hear the electricity in the walls person. So I do actually think that it would work to not fuck up sound quality and also compensate for my lack of air conditioning in the Portland summers. So yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to put it on the throne wish list. By the time you're hearing this, it'll be on there. You can go buy it for me. Surgeons, if you don't want to join our Patreon.
If you really want to stick it to the U.S. government, buy a trans person a fan. Thank you.
Hell yeah. It's pride. You're actually legally obligated, especially if you're straight.
You are definitely legally obligated to give trans people money because, goddamn.
Yep, exactly.
Um, all right. My last thing here is that whatever. So when Troy is still freaking out and Crusher is like, "Oh shit, you're in a crisis." She's like, something like about Delta sleep, and I'm like, whatever Delta sleep is sounds great. I would like that. She's like, it'll put you in like a totally like dreamless sleep, and I'm like yes, give me the deepest sleep I could possibly have. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, totally. Ugh, the dream.
I know.
Welcome to 10 Forward, where we talk about characters. Let's start with Riker. I just have a little bit about him, but so he leads this large, way bigger than usual, away mission down to this planet. Makes sense because this is very weird. They don't take any PPE, which I'm like,
Once again.
guys, what if there's not actually an atmosphere down there, for example? Anyway, but they do take a lot of people. They're like, we're gonna play it safe. Um, and they get down there, and it's very clear that one person could be doing all of the information gathering. Like if Riker had his own tricorder out, he could know everything that everyone around him is telling him, that he's prompting them to tell him.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, this is leadership. He's making sure that everyone feels like they're there for a reason in a way that I was like, it would never literally even occur to me to do this. And here he is just being like, all right, do I need Geordi to like tell me what he sees through his visor and Worf to tell me what he sees on the tricorder? Absolutely not. Do I want both of them to feel like they are a part of this team and it's important that they're here? Yes, I do. And therefore I'm going to do this.
I also feel like good leadership is delegation. And more importantly, the importance of diversity is even if I go by myself and I have like all this technology, I might still miss something that say Worf might pick up on or Crusher might pick up on. And I feel like the sort of knowing both your strengths and weaknesses as a leader and being able to be like, I actually need a like team of people who are gonna notice different things for me to sort of be fully able to assess this deeply strange situation is also great.
Yeah, which is why they all need to be there to just to
Yes.
make sure that what I'm saying
Yeah,
is
yeah,
being
yeah.
understood. Like it is important that all of them are there. The initial information gathering is basically just everyone reading a tricorder, so they could all do that silently. You know what I mean? The fact that
Yeah.
Riker is prompting them to share information out loud, besides being for our benefit as the viewers, I think is so that everyone is engaged and like feels like they're part of this team, you know?
Yeah.
Um, but like, yeah, to your point, that is proven by the fact that, I mean, it's a little late, but Jordy is like, ah, a trap, you know? Riker's already in the trap, but no one else would have noticed that.
Also deeply funny. Like, what is this trap gonna do? But okay, anyway, digress.
But that is actually my other point about him is that he is so unfazed. So listeners, it's like one of those traps like in a I don't know, a cartoon where he like springs it and then he's like dangling by his ankle. Um and he it's as if he's not upside down. Kevin comes out to confront them and Riker's like, "I'm Commander Riker. Let me introduce you to my team." Like I just I,
Wait, I'm pretty sure there's a point where we see Jordy like helping him, or like,
yeah,
yeah.
once
So
once Kevin is like, yes, you can all come into my home, or once Rashawn is like, you can come into our home, Jordy helps him down. But just the fact that when Kevin comes out, he's like, "Who are you?" And Riker's like, "Well, I'm leading this away mission. I may be dangling by my ankle, but like, I'm Commander Riker. This is Lieutenant LaForge and Lieutenant Worf."
it honestly is very funny.
Yeah, it's incredible. The confidence on that man, you know?
Yeah. Um, I have a little bit about Worf.
Me too.
Uh, we get some good Worf moments in here in this episode because he's also just like clearly what the fuck is happening, and is also very committed to being like, I'm gonna figure this out. Like, my pride as a head of your security and a Klingon is on the line of figuring this out. But I love when we first meet Kevin and Worf is like, that is not even a loaded phaser. I like really admire the gall on you, and I'm like, oh, you made a friend.
I loved that scene. I loved it. And listen, I have a huge crush on Worf. Anytime we get that like mischievous smile, I am a puddle on the floor. And so when he, okay, so listeners, he's like, "You did all of that with such confidence, wielding a phaser that you knew didn't even work." And Kevin's like, "Ah, you knew, whatever." And Worf's like, "No, like, I admire Gall in a person." He does this little smile, and I
I
just was
know.
like,
I know it's so good. It's
yeah,
just so good. Um, yeah. And I think I just have to point out when he goes back with Picard, when Picard is like, "Let me go suss this out with my own two eyes." And like so they end up getting invited for tea, and Worf just takes a sip of the tea and makes just like the most just like ugh
yeah.
face. But then it's just like, oh nope, good tea, good house. I'm
I know.
like,
Oh, it's so good.
oh,
If we had a bonus editor, like I hope someday we'll be able to hire, I would have them cut in the good tea, good house, because it's
so funny.
immaculate.
That was great. Uh,
I also I we go on such a journey with him because he's like, "Picard, they're gone. Whoever attacked this sister or this planet, they're not here anymore." And Picard's like, "Remember history where the Andorians, attacked someone?" I'm like, "They're in the Federation, whatever." Previous to that, apparently. And then they like took their ship apart so that it wasn't detectable, and then they put it back together and did more attacking. And Worf is like, "If I had been on the security team, I would not have missed the Andorians. I would stake my reputation on it." And then the ship comes back, and I just wrote, "Uh oh, Worf, your reputation."
Worf is probably also like, fuck my reputation.
I know, but I love that we have that for a while. And then Picard asks him a question later, and Worf kind of, or Picard's like, "Come with me to the planet." And Worf is kind of like, "But I fucked up. Like, I'm not the guy." And Picard's like, He has not yet revealed that he knows exactly what's happening, but he's like, "What I will reveal is that you did not fuck up, actually." get it together. You actually could not have detected this, and you're the guy, and you're coming with me to this tea party. Um, and I loved it.
I know. This might be a good transition into Picard, who I have here.
Yeah.
Uh, literally, my first note for him is just that he's very peak dad this episode.
This is really
Um,
his episode, I think. This is the Picard episode, which we haven't had one in a long time. I was really stoked to have a Picard episode.
yeah, especially because we get halfway through being like, haha, I've solved the mystery. And everyone's just like, what the fuck is happening?
I know one of my notes is that this is literally one of his favorite activities is having figured something out and just not telling anyone because he wants to see their faces when he gets to do the big reveal, which is
He loves the drama of the big reveal. And it's like, sir.
he's a detective story guy. I'm like, you know what? Your job is so serious. So much of your responsibilities involves like being really open, really good communication. I am not going to begrudge you fucking with the bridge crew so that you can have your big Dixon Hill moment at the end of the episode. Like,
Yeah.
everyone deserves a little treat, and this is Picard's.
Especially because like the first half of this episode is like kind of intense. They're just like, what's going on this planet? And then like Troy is like having her brain fucked with in a way where he's just like, because like he goes to her to be like, you don't seem okay. And like, is it the stress? Which is an excellent question to ask, to be like, are you, did we overworked you? Because like,
Yeah,
which I think is actually a really good observation to be like, you're feeling off. It's like, what is it, halt? Like, have you gotten enough rest
yeah,
recently? And she's like, no, I got this song stuck in my head. And he's like, we all get that. And she's like, no.
yeah. No, you don't get it.
Um, but like, yeah. But he still goes to check on her personally, which I think is really nice. And
Yeah,
also,
and he does a really good job, I think,
yeah.
too, getting her to talk and also responding to the situation when she is sharing with him and stuff. He's such a good dad slash captain, captain dad.
Captain Dad. I gotta say, I had this moment where it's like the amount of trust the bridge crew has in Picard, because for him to be like, nope, we let these people get murdered by the ship. And you're just kind of like, I would be like, have you lost your mind? But everyone's like, okay, Picard, we're trusting you. And of course he was right, you know? Which I appreciate because when I first watched it, I was trying to guess what was happening and I was completely wrong.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And so I'm like, wow, Picard, I'm glad you figured this out because I'm just like, wow, I would have not. I did not at all.
Yeah, I think it's the vibes. Like, because we have seen that when his vibes are off and he's giving weird commands, they do follow them to an extent, but everyone's much more like, like, is it time to relieve him of duty? Like, okay, should we be doing this? But in this one, everyone's just kind of like exchanging glances, and it's very like he knows something that we don't know. So, like, okay. I think they too are like, Picard deserves a little treat. So if he wants to
Yeah,
fuck with us right now, like, okay. Like, let them bomb the planet. Clearly, it's fine because Picard would not be so fucking weird and jovial about it otherwise.
right. Yeah, he definitely would not. Yeah, and then I feel like his confronting Kevin about what's going on, and then like the later confrontation with him and Crusher, where they're just like, "What the fuck is happening?" And he's just like, I think Picard does a good job of being like, "Okay, well, we are really unequipped to handle your level of godlike powers, so I guess it's a good thing that you're kind of going into self-imposed exile." Cool,
Yep.
great. No one go to this planet again.
Yep. Totally. He's like, we'll put up buoys, just flags, some sort of uh, announcement being broadcast on repeat, just being like, leave it alone, leave
Don't
it
do it.
alone. My last thing here is just a little Data feelings watch because there is no explanation for what Data experiences with that music box aside from whimsy, which is a feeling, you know?
Totally. I also have to say that I feel like he was excited to recite the information that he had memorized from Wikipedia about these colonists.
Yeah.
He was like, just in case we needed to, I was prepared. And look at that. It came in handy. And
Yeah,
it's just like, oh, you're so excited to share this.
totally.
I just I love that part so much.
Yeah.
Uh
Oh.
I said a little bit about Troy also.
Oh, okay.
I mean, first off, I want to say again, glad that this actress gets some a meaty role because she is really crushing it with play. Like I was like actually also feeling distressed for her. I'm like, this is almost hard to watch because of how good she is playing, just like the amount of pain that she is in. It's like really uncomfortable to watch. And
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, you're doing a great job.
Yeah.
um but also I'm like, just go to the doctor. Why are you trying to play this off? Just take the turbo lift and be like, where are the drugs to make this stop?
Yeah, I thought it was very strange that she didn't do that. I don't know. I mean, maybe
Like,
it was just making her confused, is maybe the only thing I can think of.
you
Um,
know,
she's like really disoriented, maybe. Because when they try to take her to sickbay, she's like, I don't want to leave my quarters, which is how Kevin and Rashawn feel about leaving the planet now that I say that out loud. So maybe it is actually their vibes like getting all mixed up in her head that's making her be like, actually, what I need right now is to like be in my home and like not talk to anyone about what's going on because that's literally how Kevin feels. So,
yeah, yeah. And I suspect that this is him being rusty with his powers, where it's like, I don't, you clearly didn't mean to nearly drive Troy to have a mental breakdown, but you did.
right.
And you're like,
Welcome to the holodeck where we talk about aesthetics. It's literally written in front of me. And there is an image roundup for every episode. So just click the link in the show notes if you want to look at what we're talking about, or if you're listening as a patron, you have an email announcing this episode, and the images are in the email, and you can just look at that. Even easier. Okay, so we have a new outfit on Troy this episode. She's wearing a turquoise per the Crayola marker, not turquoise like the stone,
yeah,
dress. It is a similar neckline to her maroon jumpsuit. Honestly, because I think the most recent episode was the one where I was like, oh my God, she has to pee so fucking bad. Someone let her get out of this goddamn jumpsuit so that she can pee, and then you do this take again. I'm glad she's in a dress, you know? Real easy to go pee
yeah.
when you're wearing a dress. So I give it a
Also,
10.
I feel like the color is so stunning. I was just like, wow, look at that outfit. Again, I was stoned when I first watched it, but I'm like, even this morning, I was like, wow, that is an excellent color. It looks great on you.
Yeah, yeah, it is a good color on her.
Which I guess makes sense because this episode is also very 80s aesthetic.
She wears this so because of the thing where you had been like, oh, she has a new outfit. And then I was like, does she? And then she doesn't. And then I went and was like, when does she get a Starfleet uniform? So I was just like clicking through the like image screenshot website until I found one where she's wearing the uniform. I'm so sorry to say this. It is season 6. But this dress is like one of the two things that she wears for the remainder of the show up until she actually gets to put on a Starfleet uniform in season 6. So it sticks around, which is, I think, fine. Like, it's not it doesn't really make sense in terms of like this is my Starfleet outfit, but like whatever. Again, I'm glad for her that she can go pee, you know?
Yeah. And that she gets to have a little bit extra color to her wardrobe versus just the jumpsuit.
Yeah.
You'll be unsurprised that my other point is about this very funny modern house that Kevin and Rayshawn are in, where I'm
Hmm.
like, it's very funny that these colonists in the future have a house that just looks like California mid-century modern with the most 80s interior, like space age 80s interior.
I know.
Honestly, I would live in this house. There are so many windows. I'm like, oh
Yeah,
yes.
it's a very you house.
It is. I was like, oh, let me in.
House, not my vibe. That window, though, that stained glass window,
The circular one?
yes.
Yeah. So, listeners, it's in a couple of shots, but the inside the interior of this house has they have this giant circular stained glass window where the design is very abstract, but looks sort of like a not quite like a clock. Like, how would you design like describe the pattern of the
It's more
window?
like a spider web, I feel like a geometric spider web almost.
Yeah, and
Um,
it's like a kind of purplish and then like purplish color
I can't believe I
pieces of
didn't
glass.
pull this up. I've been trying really hard to like have them available to look at. Give me just 1 second to do this. Actually, how about while I pull up this image, you do a better job than we did of describing the dress and the house.
So Troy's teal dress has a sort of like scoop neck collar, and she's like kind of like a like longer like a half sleeve. Uh, um, and then like the skirt the dress part is very like kind of flowy and asymmetrical, but like all like the same kind of like teal stretchy material. Um, and then the colonist house, it is so the house front is literally sort of a like triangle, but the point is at one corner, so kind of a like I don't know what those kind of triangles are called. Anyway,
I can't see
um,
you because I have my actual screen up. Hang on, give me one. I found it. So, okay. Show me the shape.
so it's like a triangle, but like the point isn't at the top. It's like sort of like oh my god,
Oh,
oh
like
my god,
an,
what are
what is
shapes?
that? An isosceles triangle?
Yes. um with a a block like a strip of like block windows and like a like lower floor and an upper floor, which is very like a modern style architecture. But yeah, definitely and it's like all white on the outside. It's very honestly a little bit weird office building built in the 70s.
Yeah,
It's kind
yeah.
of the vibe of it, but it is their house. But the inside is very 80s. A lot of shimmery material, a lot of purples, a lot of I don't know. I feel like the one of the couches is like silvery and shiny.
Yeah, there's like a lot of white leather, I feel like.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. So I have the window pulled up. So it's even better than I remembered. It's so fucking weird, you guys. You should go listen to it. No amount of describing is gonna get you. Go listen to it, look at it, slash join our Patreon so we can hire someone to put these images straight in the YouTube video. You know? Anyway, so it's round and then it has a trapezoid um like frame around sort of the middle, like bisecting the circle with like wood bits coming off of the sides of the trapezoid. And then the center is just clear glass. And then it is very spider webby going out like black lines that then are bisected by like other lines running the other directions, and it's all clear except for little squares of like seafoam and pink glass sort
Okay.
of scattered throughout. It's so fucking cool. It's very not quite the sort of like Frank Lloyd Wright style of stained glass, but similar in the sort of like
Very
overall.
geometrical.
Yeah, which is one of the few like MCM things that I am really into is things like stained glass and like the sort of, like tile and stuff like that. Like I don't like the house design, no offense, but I do really love some of the accenty pieces. So I'm
I mean,
very
and
into
like
this window.
again, I am unapologetically obsessed with MCM, so
Yeah, and I mean, that's fine. Just because it's not my jam doesn't mean that you should feel bad about loving it, you know?
oh, I guess I don't feel bad about loving it. I do acknowledge that there's a lot of ugly modern mid-century modern inspired buildings slash houses because there's a
Yeah.
lot of things you're just like, why would you want to live here?
Yeah, totally. Agreed.
Anyway,
So I have one more thing, which is that Troy, when she's uh like laid out in bed, she just really looks like a Disney princess because her hair is so long and it's like laid out on the pillow, but everything around her is shimmery and sparkly and purple. And it just like she could be in a, production of Sleeping Beauty for the stage, it's so funny. So
yeah,
funny.
she has great hair,
She does
just in
have great
general.
hair. Yeah. Um, the bedding. I think we talked with Hannah McGregor about how like all of the bedding in Star Trek looks like if you tried to sit on it, you would just like slide away. And that is very much the bedding that she has, but it is so sparkly, which I do love. I wish that sparkly things could be a material that was touchable, more frequently, but yeah, it's
I
giving her
know
a whole aesthetic. She should be being attended by birds.
exactly. Yeah, I would like us to spend less time energy on AI and more on making a shimmery fabric that is not a sensory nightmare.
Yes, please. Come on. The
What
people have spoken. It's pride, scientists. You owe us.
it's like what else are we doing? Going to
Pivot.
war? No one wants that.
Okay.
Computer, tell me what's going on with hashtag Ruthless next month in July.
Next month, the Gaily Planet is going to be on vacation because you guys, every year, Jesse and I are like, we're gonna sync up our vacations. And then every year, our vacations are completely out of sync, and then we have like long ass stretches of time where we can't record. And that is happening this month, and therefore we will not be able to have episodes for the month of July. However, our Patreon schedule remains unchanged. Those episodes are already recorded. So patreon.com/# ruthless if you still want to hear from us next month. Um, but also, not but, and also, our next zine goes out next month. So if you are already a patron or you are about to join our Patreon, make sure you message us and be like, I want the zine because we will send you memes in the mail. You do that by sending us a message through Patreon with your mailing address saying, I want the zine. That's it. And that is available to patrons at all levels, including the sticker club only and support only tiers. Everyone gets memes in the mail.
Yeah, who doesn't love physical mail? And
It's like Instagram on pieces of paper with no horrors interspersed amongst the memes. Like, imagine.
I know, think about how in the future you'll feel when everyone is like, oh, we actually can't use Instagram anymore. And you're like, I've been getting memes in the mail.
Yep.
Computer, what's going on with hashtag Ruthless this month?
I'm so glad you asked because this month is Pride. I don't know if you guys know this. It's the gayest time of the year and also the time that we do the most bonus stuff aside from maybe Halloween might be equally as intense. So we're doing so much bonus stuff. This is also when we try to make more money to like keep this project a little bit more sustainable. Part of doing that is we do a merch sale, everything in our shop, including the limited extras from our sticker club, which they never get reprinted. So like we have a limited number of those designs and they're available until they sell out or until the end of the month, whichever comes first.
And
Uh,
then you will be able to get your Pride merch by supporting independent queer artists and not a terrible corporation pandering to you.
yes, exactly. Uh, like most of our merch at this point is either handmade or it's stickers that are printed by Sticker Ninja, which is like a very queer, very cool company. So supporting queer people all the way down, you guys.
Yes, we have also kicked off summer camp in our Justin Patreon.
So great point, Jesse, because most of our Pride Patreon stuff is available to all of our members, including the free members. So, like our newsletter this month is available to free patrons, and our um, summer camp episode about hairspray will also be available to free patrons. And the beer bad episode went out on the public feed, so that one is available to everyone.
Perfect. And then for folks who are like, wow, I'm really going to miss you in July, we have summer camp from last year and also our entire Patreon back catalog, of which there is untold amount of hilarious things in our archives. So now is a good month to join our Patreon and support us.
Yeah. And if you join for $21 or more, Jesse will send you an affirmation, recorded, personalized, tailored to you. When you join, just send us a message being like, this is what I need an affirmation about.
And check out the show notes for our website and our Instagram, where we have more in-depth information about all the things that we're doing this Pride Month. And if you're, looking at online list of like, wow, what kind of things should I enjoy for Pride? Recommend us. Recommend the Sunbearer trials. Recommend John Waters movies. Like recommend, things that we have covered and be like, oh, my favorite podcast has also talked about these things. Thanks.
Yes. If you're in like the Star Trek Reddit and people are like, what's like Pride Star Trek stuff? Hello. Here we are. Tell everyone, tell your friends, tell your parents, tell, whatever. Spread the word. We would
Yeah.
appreciate it so much.
Yeah. Tell randos on the internet, especially.
Yep, 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 yep. Please do. Great. Okay. Next segment. Welcome to the Observation Lounge, where we talk about things that are fucked up.
Okay. My first thing is sort of about Kevin and his pacifism. Oh my God.
Yeah, pacifism.
Pacifism, which I understand him being like, I'm an immortal being. I don't want to kill anything. I totally get that. And I even understand that he's not a mammal. So the idea of something is attacking me, I should fight back is probably not an instinct that he has. Totally fair. I think he made the completely wrong choice by not just, I don't know, killing the ship of invaders.
Yeah, or like putting up a impenetrable dome over the colony or something.
Right? Like you can manipulate matter so well that they beamed up an illusion of a person. Like that is just power un beyond even the capabilities of this very advanced technological society.
Yeah.
And you couldn't think of anything better besides I tried to trick them or destroying their entire species. Like those were your those are the two ideas that you had.
I
Like
know. Yeah, I think my note is literally there are options between nothing and genocide, you know? Um, it made me think about in Strange New Worlds, Hemmer's species are all pacifists. Um, and there's a point, like when they're being hunted by the Gorn, where he says pacifism is not passivity. Um, is it when they're yes, it's the first Gorn episode. Uh, and Ahura is like, oh, it's a, matter of perspective. And I just felt like I was like, someone needs to tell Kevin that pacifism is not passivity. Like that is it's a way of like interacting with the world that's about protecting and preserving life, you know?
Yeah,
Which I do think I'm actually just also plagiarizing from what Hemmer says in that episode for the record. But um yeah, it's not this sort of like limp, inert, like, welp, I don't kill and therefore bye everyone, I guess.
right. It just seems like this idea where he has all this incredible power to do something, and he was like, I can't possibly do anything besides make this invading species even angrier. And I'm like, dude, what?
I know. Go talk to Superman, grab their leader, find a cactus. You can do it. Like,
Because, yeah, and like, because like, it's very understandable that you would, maybe if you're this like immortal, all powerful being, you're maybe sort of aware that compared to yourself, other beings around you are kind of like the way that we treat ants. Whereas like there's so many of you, I am so much more than even your collective selves. And I kind of understand him sort of being cautious about like how he is affecting the world, considering his immense power. But this was just a like, these are your neighbors, like not just your wife, but like these are people you've known for however many years you've lived in this colony, and you're just like, well, my morals say that I can't kill anything, so I'm gonna let all these human and other mortal peoples fight to protect their home and clearly be out overpowered, And it's
yeah,
just
like
like
there was never a chance.
there
Yeah.
was never a chance. And then you're just like, oh, I didn't do anything. Now I'm so angry. I'm just gonna like commit genocide. And it's just like, I'm sorry, what?
Well, not in like defense of him, but I actually don't think from the episode, it doesn't sound like he made a decision to wipe them all out. Like he had an emotional reaction that resulted in all of them dying sort of like in a moment. And then it was
Yeah,
like, oh God, which personally, I'm like, this could have been avoided if you had spent any time figuring out like what your pacifism means to you and how you want to interact with it in the world
yeah,
and like figuring that out. Like, you shouldn't, if you're this powerful, you shouldn't be able to become that emotionally unregulated. If you're going to live among mortals, need to make sure that you've made your decisions and made your peace with yourself and know what you're doing. You shouldn't be able to get triggered like that if this is a power that you have that could be
yeah.
unleashed if you get unbalanced.
Yeah, it's like you're this many thousands of years old. Have you not read any books about pacifism? But watch any documentary? Like what?
I know.
And it it almost feels to me irresponsible to have this immense power and to just allow yourself to not use it to the point where in a moment of rage you erase like 50 billion people. Like,
Yeah,
no, you need to be in better control of yourself. And
exactly.
if you thought that your wife dying would compromise you, which makes sense, you maybe should have had some contingency plans of some kind, you know? Like you were always going to outlive her. Like you knew that going into this, you
Right.
know? And just I'm glad that you feel remorse and guilt because you should. This still honestly feels preventable.
Yeah. No, totally. I mean, yeah. I think, I mean, who knows what's up with his species, but I'm like, I feel like they need a system where it's like before you can go out into the galaxy and try out living amongst the mortals, you get a lot of training in how to cope with things that happen amongst the mortals so that you don't accidentally kill 50 billion people in one moment of like emotional dysregulation, just as an idea.
Right. I don't know. Go hang out with some Vulcans. They will are very good about being like, well, I feel like very good quotation marks
Yeah.
about their separating of logic and emotion and about their feeling too hard that they have to invent this funny cultural system.
Right.
But Vulcans don't have the power to do the kind of devastation that this guy does. It's like, right, did you not get any training about how to not do this? Like there's go, create a therapist. Like I don't know. Like okay, you're a pacifist. You could have done something good with your power. You could have like made it so the planet wasn't there anymore or it looked like it wasn't there. Like what, you know?
Yeah,
Like
like how the doctor undid doing genocide on Gallifrey by hiding it in a pocket of space-time. Do that. You're a god. Um, I did think it was really weird that Picard was like, I don't know if he should be praised or condemned, only that he should be left alone. And I was like, you are taking this man's word for it that this species that he obliterated are just universally bad. And I think you shouldn't do that. Personally, he has a grudge and also is not a reliable narrator. And I think we can just cross praised off of the list of options. I don't know that he needs to be condemned. I think that he is suffering. Like, I think that his punishment already exists. I agree with Picard that he doesn't need to be hauled in front of a fucking tribunal, even if they could. Like,
yeah, they cannot.
he is already reaping the repercussions of the action that he committed. And it's not like, I mean, I guess he might do it again, but it seems like he has learned that he needs to not be around people. And so, great, you know,
Yeah.
justice has been served in as much as justice can be served in a situation like this.
Yeah.
Restorative justice, prison abolition, no tribunals.
Yeah.
That's
I
my
mean, this guy's
platform. Lark for president.
yeah, this guy's already like probably going to spend an eternity uh in his own like guilt and remorse for what he both failed to do and then actually did.
Right.
I also got to say Picard being like there's not really laws for this and I'm like pretty sure the Federation has laws about committing genocide, but I guess if you're like an immortal being who did it basically on accident, instantaneously, no, you don't have laws for that, truly. But I'm like, what a weird thing to say, my dude. Um, I have one last point,
Okay.
which is much lighter. Um, I hate lawns. I hate lawns so much. It makes no sense for these colonists to have a lawn. I'm like, you're using all of that land. I mean, this is a recreation of this place. Maybe there wasn't a lawn there before, but there is now. And I'm
Yeah.
like, but why? That makes
Yeah.
no sense. Lawns don't make sense,
No.
except when you want to waste precious resources for an aesthetic.
Yeah.
So,
No, I'm on your side with that. Welcome to the Ready Room where we dig into stuff. My goal here is to talk about the like mystery that Picard is experiencing in this episode. Like, how did he connect the dots? What were the tells? I don't know, it just felt like it would be fun to do that. Are you
Yeah,
game?
I am game.
Okay, cool. Um, so for the listeners, I think we've covered a lot of it, but basically everything's really weird. They don't know what's up with this ship. It's like not even trying to attack them, and then they try to chase it, and it's like going the exact same speed as them, and like no matter how much they speed up, and everyone's like, something is so fucking weird. And so Picard basically is like, Riker, I'm going down. I'm too curious. I simply have to know what's going on here. Um, and he's having tea with them and he's just observing everything, trying to be like, something is really weird. And I was just like, okay, so what are the dots that he's connecting? The biggest one being, how does he know that Rashawn is dead? That they're not both alive?
Yeah.
Here's my theory. She, right off the bat, tells them the story, him and Worf, the story of how they met, right? He's this young artist, like you talked about, and she's like, I proposed within 2 hours. And then Picard is asking a bunch of leading, probing questions about the attack. He's like, so you guys didn't fight? Kevin's like, no, I'm a pacifist. And Rashawn is like, oh, like, I wanted to, but like I had to stay with my husband. And I feel like that is the moment that Picard pings onto it
Mm.
because that is completely incongruous with the woman who proposed 2 hours after meeting him.
Oh shit. Yeah, holy shit. You're right. Because I was like, I actually still don't know. I was like, I don't know how Picard put this together. Um, that makes so much sense though. And I feel like it's like so many small details too. Like the part where there's just like, we don't need the replicator, and I'm like, you clearly would be concerned about the amount of food and water that you don't have. Like, are you kidding me? Like what?
That's a
Um,
good one too, because she's like, obviously we need this, and he's like, no, we don't fucking need it. So that's a for sure a tell, because it's like, well, if she thinks that they're both human and alive, then she's like, what do you mean we don't need it? And Kevin's like, well, you're dead and I'm a god. We don't need it. So
yeah,
that's definitely a mark in Picard's little detective notebook on the Rashawn is dead lead.
yeah.
So back to mystery solving Picard. The other things that we have, let's see. So the reason Picard, I think, is totally unconcerned when he's like, all right, we're going to let that ship bomb the planet, then we're going to bomb the ship, and it's going to, despite it being like not a very good bomb, it's going to blow up that whole fucking ship, is because Kevin is like, I would never kill. And Picard's like, okay, got it. So I am positive that this is an illusion, and this man has said that, like, no matter what, he's not killing anybody. So, like, we're good. I don't need to put our shields up. I don't need to be worried about this at all.
Yeah.
Um, what I don't have any theories about is how he figures out how this is connected to Troy, because he never even sees like the music box, or I mean, he sees them waltzing, but he doesn't know what the song that's in her head sounds like.
I mean, I I feel like that's just sort of, I don't want to say context clues, but Troy is like, it started, while the away team was away, and she was like telling Picard that like, oh, like human, but like maybe not quite human. I'm still trying to figure it out, but there's something else there. And then for her to suddenly have something going on where she, in her brain where she can barely function as a person, I feel like the connection of all of these weird points would be like, I am making an informed assumption that this has something to do with this weird situation on this planet, and
Yeah.
that something that, and like the whole, all of these clues are pointing towards get the fuck out of here. And Picard's like, but why? Like so many strange things are being like, leave, and he's just like, no, I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna leave. Like
Yeah.
something is happening that is trying to force us to go, and I don't like that,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know. So, and I think honestly, part of it's got to be instinct of like, you live on a starship, you probably have an instinct for like solvable weirdness versus unsolvable weirdness, where you're like, it makes no sense that there's this one house and a lawn on this basically bombed out planet. Like that makes no sense. So
Yeah.
any other weird details must there has to be some kind of connection because everything was fine before they got to the planet. And then all this weird shit is happening. And it's just like, you know.
Yeah.
I do also have one thing which was a not political part about Kevin.
Okay.
I think part of what is happening is even though 53 years is not a long time when you're an immortal being, I think that he had not been using any of his abilities this entire time. And so I think he's not having as fine control over his
It's
powers
rusty.
as he's rusty. Yeah, because like he clearly doesn't mean to almost kill Troy. He's trying to get them to leave. He's trying to distract her from her sensing that he's not a human being.
Yeah.
And that he's a pacifist. He's clearly not trying to kill her. And I
Right.
think maybe not even harm her this well. But it's sort of just like this seems like I don't know, kind of go back to my ant analogy. He tried to move the ant and like broke one of its legs. And you're just like, oh shit, I didn't realize I was shoving this hard.
Right. Right.
And I just, you know, which I also kind of think was irresponsible of not informing your wife that you're an immortal being, or at least not occasionally do something with your power so you wouldn't become so rusty that in a fit of grief you obliterated 50 billion people. Like that's a huge oops. That's a huge like oh shit moment.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't just breaking a cup and because you're angry. Like you destroyed an entire civilization. It's just like if that's you, Rusty, you should have never fucking gotten to this point. You
Yeah.
know?
Totally agree.
So, or at least you should have left with your wife then. You should have just fessed up and been like, so we're on this imaginary spaceship that I conjure out of nowhere because I'm really a god and I didn't want you to die like the rest of these chumps on this planet. Like, it's just like you got too caught up in the being a regular guy and forgot that you have incredibly terrible powers.
I know. Whenever there's something like this on a TV show where it's like we were together for 53 years and I never told her, I'm like, is that a thing? Like, I'm like such a talker, and like that is such an important part of my romantic relationships is like just talking all the fucking time. Like, I'm constantly baffled by people who like don't communicate with their partners. But like why? You're in love. You trust that you're in love. Like if you thought she was going to leave you because you're a god, you don't have the relationship that you think you have, and so you should just leave or trust her enough to stay and that she loves you and that's part of who you are. Like what the fuck? Like why? That's so fucking weird. I don't get it.
Especially because we get this story about her being like, I met you when I was young. 2 hours later, I'm like, let's get married. That sounds like a lady who has an excellent strength of will. Good for her. And I don't think would be like, oh no, you're an immortal being. She'd be like, great, cool. Let's fucking travel the galaxy. This sounds great.
Yeah.
Like, I think if you're, I'm like, I don't know. I wouldn't, I mean, I'd be mad if it's like, oh, you didn't tell me for 53 years you were an immortal god. Like, bro, come on. But the fact that if that was the case, I'd be like, sweet, cool,
Yeah.
sounds great. Can make my flowers look? Can make my flowers talk to me? Like, sweet, you
I
know.
know. I know.
So, and then again, she wouldn't be fucking dead because you were like too chicken shit to like not use your powers to save her or just fucking tell her in the first place.
Yeah, totally.
So, anyway, dating advice for everyone.
Just talk. Just talk
tell,
to each other.
tell your partner if you're an immortal being. Just fucking do it.
just just be honest. It's so important. Welcome to engineering, where we talk about science and research that we did.
Okay, so this is about Troy and her medical crises that Crusher is like, I don't fucking know what to do besides put her into a fucking coma. Which, granted, seems like a legitimate thing to do in this situation. Like, as far as medical advice goes, that sounds legit to me. What isn't legit to me is that you're on a like a Starfleet ship with presumably access to all of the like written compiled data of all of the species in the Federation, including betazoids. Are you telling me there's not a like guide for how to treat betazoids under some kind of psychic attack? Because I think that that is something that probably A happens if you're as psychically sensitive as betazoids, and B, a thing that betazoids themselves would know how to deal with and treat.
Yeah.
So, and like maybe this is just like none of that shit is working. Very plausible, but it just seems weird that it isn't even mentioned as an option because I'm just like, it seems like someone would have written something about that.
Yeah, it would have been great to have, see them trying the things instead of the like prolonged ship chase scenes.
Oh my god, those fucking boring ass ship chase. Oh, so I'm like, yes, I would have rather than being like, we looked through all the Betazoid medical research. We can't. What they suggest isn't working.
Yeah.
That is 5 seconds. That could have been 5 seconds left of that boring ass
Yeah.
ship chase scene.
Yeah.
I know this isn't a medical show, but I'm like kind of here for the like,
Yeah.
let's use our minds to think about what being a medical professional in Starfleet actually looks like.
Yeah, totally.
So
All right. We did it.
we did it.
Okay. All right. Thank you all so much for listening to this episode. Don't forget to check out all of the stuff that we're doing for Pride. It's all in the show notes. #ruthless.com. Great place to start, etc.
Yeah. If your local Pride is later in the summer/fall, buy one of our gay ass t-shirts to wear.
Yeah. Oh yeah. In theory, we will finally have like iron-on transfers of our designs so you can go to the thrift store, find whatever shirt you want, and then just iron that thing onto whatever. I brought it up forever ago and people were like, yes, and then I never did it. So I'm using the Pride sale as the impetus to make that happen. Because, we're getting back to DIY shit in 2026 instead of, you know,
Buying new things. Yeah.
yeah,
Put an iron on of our merch design on a little slutty crop top and send it to us. We'd love that.
yeah, a picture, not the crop top.
Yes. Yeah. Sorry, a photo of you wearing the crop top, not the actual crop top.
Yeah.
Don't send us clothing. Thank you.
But yes, tag us on Instagram when you do that. We're at #ruthlesspods. I gotta stop saying we're on Blue Sky. If you want us to be on Blue Sky, join our Patreon so I can hire someone to have us be on Blue Sky.
If you want to find me, I'm on our Discord. Join our Patreon, and you can chat with me or other people who are also our fans.
The Discord is available even at our support only and sticker club only tiers. So if you want to join just to like support us but not get access to the content, you can do that and still get access to the Discord where you can hang out with Jesse and each other. It's, I assume, cute over there. I can be found on my website, which is melancholymalarkey.com, if you want to look at the art that I make that is not merch for the podcast. And also, likewise, on my Instagram, which is at melancholymalarkey. We did that out of order. So, this show and all of our shows are produced, mixed, and edited by me. Jesse is the co creative director and the Riker Data combo to my Picard. And our tedious taskmaster, Elise, takes care of many of the most tedious tasks, like making the image roundups and writing the image descriptions, which are epic.
Thank you, Elise. I hope you have the deepest Delta sleep you possibly can.
Hell yeah. All right. And until next time.
To beam up.